Hello subscribers and non-subscribers, and welcome back to Let's Play Europa Universalis 4 Make America British Again. And so, yeah, not quite sure. I did test whether or not declaring war on a member of the EU would result in me needing to fight the entirety of the EU, and sadly it would result in me needing to fight the entirety of the EU. So that's not going to happen because they got something like 830 some odd thousand infantry alone. So, yeah, that ain't gonna happen. So our choices for people to fight is fairly limited, in fact. I could declare war on Kenya and annex them. Although, I don't see any. I should see troops getting off of that if they were landing troops, so I'm guessing they're not taking Kenya. So I, in theory, could invade Kenya, take these couple of provinces. Or I can just say, let's wait it out and go to war with Egypt. Fighting Egypt, we're going to be in a war with Syria and Kuwait. Kuwait's not going to do anything. Syria, I mean, they could do something because they've actually managed to become more than Syria actually is. But this does require waiting a little bit longer. Okay, let's try this again because the game crashed on me when the month ticked over. If it happens again, I'm afraid I'm just probably gonna have to end the series here, which is a shame because I don't know why it's crashing. I really don't. I mean, yes, I do have a mod that is considered out of date, the No Colonial Nations mod, but game, you had no problems before. You shouldn't suddenly, when I go to record part 9, decide, oh, I'm not gonna fucking work. Because that's basically what you're doing right now, is suddenly deciding, you know what, I don't want to work. But yes, if it does crash again, I'm afraid we're probably just going to be ending the series here unless I can find a solution. At the very least, you guys won't be getting a part this week. Or at least an actual part this week. But if I can't find a solution, then sadly the series is just going to have to end, which sucks because I wasn't planning for it to end yet. And as a result, I don't have any plans for what my next series would be. Whether it be a EU4 or another Stellaris series or what other games I got. So, let's see if the game crashes again. I hope it doesn't. I really hope it doesn't. But it's happened twice now when I've gone to load the save, so I'm just gonna go and call it. It probably will. No, now it decides to work. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Well, at least for now. The hell are you doing all the way up there, Turkey? Yes, we'll see how this goes. Hopefully it doesn't decide to do a whole lot of crashing. I'm really hopeful. Yes, my truce with Zambia is over, but I can't do anything against Zambia, so doesn't really matter. Okay, let me rearrange these things since it's, at least so far, it's not crashing. Yes. But as I was saying before the game decided to crash, we will be probably going to war with Egypt. I think they're the best choice that we have for anybody to really go to war with. Ethiopia, while they're quite large, they're actually a pain in the ass to fight. Although they are going to lose Zambia as an ally. And as a result of a war with Egypt, I can, in theory, if I want to, tell Syria to break off their alliance. Leaving me with only really need to deal with Kuwait and the UAE. Which, I don't think the UAE is particularly powerful. Oh, 167k. Wow, that's actually much better than I thought. But yes, they're still not particularly powerful. They're a little ways down the list. Now, of course, their army composition might be better than mine because I don't actually play enough of EU to really know what the general optimal army designs are. So we shall see. I don't actually have anything to really do with my diplomats. I mean, I could annex Morocco. It's not like I need them. And it's a couple more provinces. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it, just go ahead and do it. Brazil's no longer a valid rival. Why? Oh, because they are actually sort of losing a war, it seems. Well, are they actually? Yes, they are in fact actually losing it. But as I said before as well, that yeah, so declaring war on any member of the EU does result in me needing to fight the entirety of the EU, so that's definitely not going to happen. I'm just going to hope that they'll generally stay off my back so that I can do what I want, and they can do what they want, which will hopefully be leaving me the hell alone. Because I think at this point you're not allowed to leave the EU. I think once you reach the point where it's using the daimyo mechanic, you are stuck in there. So, in theory, if we play long enough, the EU as a nation will form with all of this territory. Well, except for Spain. And obviously except for me. But besides these two, besides me and Spain, it'll get the rest of Europe, basically. Also, it does look like China managed to win their war against Russia, I think. Yes, they did. Oh god, these are all terrible. Yep. I wish I lived in more enlightened times. I mean, Jesus Christ, people, it's 2100. Oh, not 2100, excuse me, 2104. If it was 2100, god, that'd be way out there. Oh, Iran is getting its ass beat by Iraq and the UAE. Why? Who started the war? Oh, the UAE. Why? Oh, you do border. Okay, you on Hormuz, so that's probably why you said, okay, let's go and invade Iran. And so you and Iraq decided, yeah, let's go and invade Iran. That sounds like a wonderful idea. And Iran said, but wait, we're not ready. And, yeah, Iran clearly wasn't ready for this. Yes, basically we're just going to be waiting until I can declare war on Egypt. Hopefully they won't get any half-decent friends. Also, I don't think you can actually join the EU at this point. So Turkey, I think, is left out. Which, I mean, they may or may not have a problem with, depending upon how they feel about having everything to their west be eventually a united nation. That'll be interesting to see how they end up handling that, because if the EU decides it wants to go and start conquering people, it can succeed. I mean, technically speaking, I could have kept playing, stayed a member of the EU, and just try and actually form the EU as its own nation if I really wanted to. I mean, I probably fail because I don't really play as HRE member, so I'd have no idea. And hell, even here, it doesn't use the actual HRE mechanic outside of the limited, well, we need a way to color the map and keep track of who's in the EU and who's not. But outside of that, I don't think it actually uses the HRE mechanics at all. Got quite a bit of money and nothing to spend it on. I guess I could build, yeah, you know what, let's build another army, because why the hell not? If anybody tells you you have too large of an army, they are lying to you. So there's no such thing as too large of an army. Especially when you're playing a Paradox game. Unless it's Stellaris, then there's no such thing as too big of a navy. In the case of the army, it really doesn't matter. I swear none of you are good, so I'm just gonna say, screw it, I'll take the yearly prestige dude. Trade League disbanded. Oh, the US got some peace thing. Did it conquer these guys over here? Yes, it looks like it did. Oh, and looks like Brazil still came out on top despite the fact that the game was said they were losing the war. Or no, actually no. It looks like they might have managed to just get a white peace. When is it that I can declare war on you? March 2107. Yeah, I don't really have a reason to bother building the churches. Or cathedrals, rather. Actually, wow, that's not too bad. Let's go ahead and build these, because why not? I got tons of money and nothing to spend it on. I mean, Jesus, we're almost halfway to the EU4 Roma Invicta point, where it was physically impossible for me to spend all the money I was making. I mean, there I basically sat at the cap for treasury, because that actually has a cap, unlike certain things in EU that decide we're gonna overflow when we hit 2 million. But money has a cap? I mean, if size of the army has no cap, why would the treasury have a cap? It's just the way I see it. It seems a little bit weird that that's one of the things they decided, oh, it doesn't need a cap. Actually, you know what? Let's just try and do, just for the hell of it, some sort of alternating general, no general. Because why not? And now I just wait ages for my people to get up there. Then I can have them do stuff. Such as fight a war with Egypt for me. Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and get the Engineer Corps. I don't really care for the siege ability because I don't think I really need it. I mostly want the discipline, like I said before. Yes, game, I know I'm sitting at my cap for these, and I just am not bothering with the whole development mechanic at this point. Okay, you stop training. Now I wait for you to get your morale back. Because I don't want to send everybody in with basically no morale now. We do have a bit of a gap up here. But I'm hopeful it won't be too big of an issue. Okay, that's good enough. Imperialism. Oh, Syria's not going to join. Is Syria in a war already? No. But they will refuse to join. Why exactly? The Syrian ruler is cruel and attitude towards enemy. You like me, and your leader has the cruel trait, which increases national unrest and apparently also makes you less likely to join allies. Or join a war on the side of your ally. Interesting, I didn't realize that. So, Kuwait is just sort of going to sit there. This should be pretty much a cakewalk. I was expecting to have to actually, you know, fight. Yeah, I don't care about the inferior nuclear strength, but I will say this game, I want to crush that army. I would have loved to have crushed it before it managed to retreat. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Where is it going? Where the hell are you going? I have no idea. I see you're going into the Central Sahara, but that's about as far as I can tell. God, you all are just going wherever you damn well please. Like you have no central command structure or something. You're just saying, let's go here! Oh, I've already got their capital. Yeah, they're boned. Goodbye, Egypt. And Suez is not quite in British hands. Damn it. We were so close. I can't quite snag this. There we go. I can snag the Suez, like just barely. With some very, very crappy looking borders. Let's shift you all around a little. Okay, Egypt. Personally, I think you should surrender. Kuwait's not going to save you. Yes, I saw something like a 40k some odd stack. But it's not going to help you either. I'm sorry, it really won't. But I guess we'll just wait. Because you decided you don't want to just surrender. When it's abundantly clear that you will fail. Okay, what the hell is that all about now? That was in the 50s. What the hell are you doing? Where are you going? Are you going through Ethiopia? I think they're going through Ethiopia. Do you have a military access through Ethiopia? No, you only have it through Israel, but you have conditional through the UAE. And, okay, yes, you do through Ethiopia. Yeah, I think there are major armies going down here. Somewhere. I don't know where. All I know is they had a fairly large army. And of course, now I have to keep an eye out because the game's decided that they are now at medium war enthusiasm, despite having been at low just moments earlier. And sure, we'll take the World Bank. Malaya is no longer a valid rival. Okay, we'll have to revoke our embargo on them then. Not much point in keeping it. I should have conditional through Ethiopia as well, right? Yes, if I really wanted to, I could go ahead and... Found it! Not letting you guys get away. There we go. Now we can end this war. Give me a little bit of your money. There we go. Terrible looking borders, but the Suez is in British hands again. But those are terrible looking borders, I will admit that. I didn't want to do it like that, but the game forced me. It decided, no, you can't conquer all of Egypt in this war. I don't know why. I mean, in hindsight, I could have easily checked that before even declaring the war, but I honestly suspected that I would have been able to annex them entirely. One, because I was using the imperialism casus belli. But two, just because they don't have a whole lot going for them. God, how many provinces are pissed off? And it's like minor. We're slightly upset. So we're gonna have unrest, and I just kinda don't want to have to deal with it at all, so... Realistically, I don't have to do that, but I just don't feel like needing to deal with the slight rebel chance that they're all gonna have. And I did have an army over there. Oh! I actually do have a coalition forming against me between Syria and the UAE. I was not actually expecting them to form one against me, but apparently they said, I think we can get away with it. This, of course, means that I sort of have to watch my back. Oh, Iraq joined. Oh, Israel's joined. Oh no, not Israel. They're not going to do anything. Oh, shit. Turkey and Algeria. Oh, whoops. Well, shit. Oh. Oh, I didn't realize that was taking us way over our our overextension as well. Well, it doesn't take us too long to core provinces, so I think we'll be fine. If just barely. Oh, oh shit, Ethiopia joined now as well. Yep. You know, I thought that was going to turn out a lot better than it was, namely because I haven't had a reason to worry about a coalition forming, but now there is a reason, because there is a coalition. And it is actually fairly sizable. Admittedly, most of the people are to my east, so I mean, I can sort of concentrate my forces in one direction. There's a little bit of Algeria over here, but I can deal with them without much of an issue. It's namely going to be Ethiopia, the UAE, and, well, Turkey. Yeah, Turkey's quite powerful. The UAE actually is fairly powerful as well. And then I've got the issue of I apparently don't have enough nukes. And I never do. Which certainly doesn't help because it's a minus 15 to army morale. So, yes, that definitely actually makes this very, very fucking annoying. Oh boy. Well, at least I don't have to deal with South Africa as well, so, I mean... It's slightly limited, but, you know what? I think I might just decide to go ahead and do a maybe a shorter part this week. Maybe. We'll see. Okay, first battle we won. But I'm not too surprised by that. It was Israel, and they had a fairly small army, actually. Yep, I knew that was gonna happen. I knew I was gonna have the inferior nuclear strength. Because I always have the inferior nuclear strength. Oh, God. Oh, this is going to be a pain in the ass of a war. And it's going to be a hell of a lot worse than the coalition wars I fought as Byzantium in my Roma Invicta series. Because at least there, I could plop a fleet down in the Sea of Marmara and basically say, you're not getting to the western half of my empire unless you can get on a boat. It's basically what I did. I didn't care if they took Anatolia. It was this stuff off to the west in Europe that I cared about there. Yep. Okay, you know what? This is going to be a shorter part because... oh boy. This is going to be a real pain in the ass of a war. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why you pay attention to how much people hate you. Because when you've got people like a large Ethiopia, a decently powerful UAE because they beat the shit out of Saudi Arabia, you got an Iraq that looks basically nothing like Iraq. You've got a Syria that is larger than a normal Syria. And then you got Turkey, which I don't think has actually done too much. I think they pushed a little bit over to here, into the, what is that, Azerbaijan area. And they're not a member of the EU, so, yeah. I think if they were a member of the EU, they wouldn't have been allowed to join the coalition. And so I wouldn't have had to worry about them, at least. But, yep. They're not a member of the EU, so I've got to deal with that. Yep. This is going to be a fun war. Well, we'll be fighting in next part. So, you guys all got something to look forward to. I mean, I think we'll win. It's just going to be a pain. That's the main thing. We can win this war. I just gotta knock out the people that I can easily knock out, like Algeria. Israel. But sadly, since it is a coalition war, I can't piece them out separately. Ethiopia is the one that declared the war, so they should to a degree be my main focus. However, because they declared the war, and as a result I am on the defensive, I have Sweden. And Sweden will help me, I'm sure. Right, Sweden? You have a decently powerful army. Nope, your army is complete and utter garbage. And I got Argentina, if they want to be useful for once, that'd be great. With their, we'll round it to 128,000 men. What is Sweden total? Because I'm not going to do the math over there. Oh, Jesus, Sweden, 85,000 men? What do you think this is? 1444? Because that would be a somewhat reasonable amount of men for the 1444. Actually, that's a bit of overkill, I think, for 1444, but you get my point. It's 2109. 85,000 men aren't going to do anything unless they're frickin' Spartans from Halo, or maybe even actual Spartans, who knows. But generally speaking, Sweden, your army isn't going to do anything. You're just going to drag me down. I mean, at least you're an ally. You got an... How's your navy? If you don't got an army, do you at least have a navy, Sweden? Please tell me you have a navy, because I don't have much of one. You got 184 ships, compared to my 243 of which 108 are light ships. What about you, Sweden? How many were light ships? I didn't bother looking at that. Oh, 160. Yeah, god damn it, Sweden. Yep. I was hoping that Sweden would be useful. They are not actually as useful as I thought they would be. So we're going to have to deal with this. But Argentina... Actually, I didn't even check Argentina. How are you? Oh yeah, so you were the 128k. Oh, well, as I rounded up to 128k. What were you for your Navy? I didn't check that, definitely. 60... Oh, God. So, this war is going to be... I have a non-existent Navy. My allies don't have a particularly powerful Navy. Argentina definitely has even more of a non-existent Navy compared to me. I mean, my Navy isn't going to fight. I've got one combat fleet, and it ain't going to do jack against the sheer might of all the... And actually, they actually aren't that much more powerful than me in terms of Navy. Who is it that's making up the bulk of their Navy? Turkey. I shouldn't be surprised by that. Well, there's a lot of light ships from the UAE. A couple of galleys from the Turks, and mostly transports evenly divided between the UAE and Turkey. Okay, so overall, Turkey and the UAE are the big naval threats, which I can't say I'm too surprised by. Turkey a little more so because they got more big ships, and big ships tend to hurt. Little ships, or the light ships, no, they're more so just for the trade. I mean, you can use them in combat, but they're not really designed to do that. Their main mechanic that they're supposed to do is to try and steer trade. Yep, like I said, this war is going to be a pain in the ass, but I'm sure you all will enjoy it, because I'm sure all will love to see me need to fight this. Yeah, God, I am so not looking forward to actually fighting this. Okay, well, I basically rambled on about how I don't think this is going to be a fun war for me, at least. For you all, you'll enjoy it, I'm sure. For me, not as much. For actually about 6 minutes, which I'm, okay, I think now closer to 7, which I'm frankly surprised by. So, as I said, it's going to be it for this part. I'll see you all in the next one. A quick reminder, affiliate links down in the description if you don't own a U4, but you want to pick it up. I think the ones I have down there include, like, a first certain number of DLCs. I don't recall which, up to how many. I think it's 14. I think it's like the first 14 DLCs that were released for U4. So obviously it doesn't include the more recent things. You would still have to buy those separately, I'm afraid. But it would give you a bit of a head start. And those do sometimes go on sale. I don't think they're on sale right now, though, I'm afraid. But yeah, so I will see you all in the next part, where we will be fighting a coalition war that, again, for me, is probably not going to be particularly enjoyable, at least in terms of it's not going to be a cakewalk. And it might end up needing to be divided over 2 parts if we want to try and do this good. Which, to be honest, I kind of do. So, the next 2 parts might actually be this coalition war, depending upon exactly how long the battle takes. Hopefully I can knock Algeria out quickly, just so I don't have to deal with them. Israel's basically already out. And yeah. I'm going to have to focus my efforts on Ethiopia. But I will see you all in the next part, like I said. But until then, a goodbye and farewell.